Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me today. Well, we're diving into an old 8 Passengers video. I found a channel that had all the videos on them. Someone sent them to me. I have a lot of videos downloaded to 8 Passengers. We're also going to talk about what happened with Shari taking some equipment from the house and Kevin trying to get his daughter arrested. It's getting crazy. But now that we have this treasure trove of old videos, we can actually go back and look at who she was while she was doing this. Now, this is likely what's going to happen in court as well. They're going to be able to dig through all these old videos and they're going to be able to, I think, make them like Kevin and Ruby give those videos to them, right? They can probably say they were deleted, but there's probably going to be a way to find them. And I think I know what happened with that stuff. Well, conjecturizing, TM. So let's talk about it. So hey, welcome back to the 8 Passengers fiasco. If you don't know what's going on, please do be sure to check up what's going on. Ruby Franke from 8 Passengers has been arrested along with her cohort Jody for very much hurting her children. And she's going to be spending a lot of time in jail, and she currently still resides in jail, waiting her trial, which we have no idea what the update is so far. Well, I don't. Maybe there's been an update, but I don't know. But I've been digging through old videos, and I found a channel that uploaded them from years and years ago. It's not someone who re-uploaded them recently. They've been uploaded for years. And so I found a couple videos I want to dive into, just basically showing who she really was on the channel. And the reason why I do this is because I want to show you guys the parallel between the reality of these family channels and what they show you. Because the reality is that it's all fake, and in the end, only the kids suffer. And so it's very interesting to see these videos knowing what we know now. I do this with Kara. I do this with a lot of people when their crap falls apart. I like to take a look back and follow through and see where they are now. It's really, really important. It's really cool, especially as an avid people watcher, to see the difference, the stark difference between the two. But before we get to that, there's this footage that's been released of Kevin Franke, who is at the police station picking up his stuff, and they released the body cam footage. And to note two things. This guy needs a donut. Second of all, he's obviously this is affecting his life immensely, but I don't know why he seems to be standing by Ruby in this whole thing. Let's see if I can find the article. Here it is in Salt Lake Tribune. Kevin Franke tried to have eldest daughter arrested, search warrant records show. He accused Shari Franke of burglary after she cooperated with Springfield police during an authorized search of Ruby Franke's home. So hear this out. This guy is such a disgusting twat that he's trying to have his daughter, who is innocent in all this, arrested for burglary. Imagine directing all your ire and hate at your daughter, who is a victim of all of this. Okay, imagine, look at this guy too. Does he look normal? Do you look how tiny his hands are? Okay, so this is this. After YouTube Ruby Franke's arrest, August 30th, 4 of her 6 children were placed in state custody. Her 2 youngest kids were found first after one of them escaped the Ivans home with Franke's business partner, Jody Hildebrandt. You know the story. But records released tell Salt Lake Tribune this week shows Franke 2 older children were there, prompting a search in Springfield more than 250 miles north where Franke lived. The documents state these 2 kids were ultimately found safe. Okay, we already know all that stuff. Around the same time Shari Franke had arrived at the neighbor's house, the Brigham Young University student cut ties with her family last year after her mother began working with Hildebrandt on their online self-improvement program called Connections. She has previously expressed concern for her younger siblings. Police records released last month show. In September 2022, she asked Springfield officers to check on her younger siblings, whom she had been left on home for 5 days. And let me be real here, and this is why I throw the other sisters under the bus a lot, especially Bonnie and all them. Because she actually asked the cops to go check on the kids. She's the one doing it. Those family members didn't do any of that stuff, as far as we're aware. Maybe it'll come out that they did, but not to the degree that Shari was fighting for her family, by the way. So she made it happen. Whom she said had been left at home for 5 days. Holy. To make sure they had enough food for the extended period. At the time, police responded and the kids appeared to be home, but no one came to the door, the records state. So the kids appear to be home, no one comes to the door, and you just walk away? Okay, cool beans, police, good job. Wow! On the day of the search, Shari Franke told authorities that one of the yet-to-be-found girls may be nearby recreational center, but when police contacted the center, they were told the girl had been picked up because of a family emergency, according to police documents. Police then checked with the girl's older brother, who is 18 and lives in Provo. Authorities checked his apartment but did not find the children, and he declined to speak with responding officers, according to police documents. That's actually quite telling. Why did Chad decline to speak with officers? Now, I think if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken, Chad is with his dad in all this. Been siding with his dad, living with his dad, or being, dependent on his dad. I don't know what's going on, but I think he's connected to his dad. And if this is the case that Kevin is sitting over here trying to throw his daughter under the bus, something else is going on here. This is getting way crazier than I've ever imagined. The girls were eventually found when the woman who had stopped by the recreational center identified in the documents as Connection's employee. This gets crazier. American Fork Police spoke with the employee at her home, and she told authorities that the two girls were inside. An officer briefly detained and handcuffed the employee until Springville officers arrived. According to police documents, she was not arrested and not charged. These kids are just all over the map. Where's Kevin again? Where are you, Kevin? Your kids are hanging out with employees of Connections? Shari can't get a hold of them? Chad won't speak to the police? What is going on, Kevin? How are you not in jail yet, dickhole? The Connections employee told authorities that Ruby Franke had asked her around noon to pick up the girls because of the unspecified family emergency. This is when she was going out because of the thing that was caught at Jody's house. The woman added that it was not an odd request for her to bring her to her home, since the girls often did housework and chores at her American Fork residence. After picking up one girl from the center and another from a different location, the employee took the girls out for lunch and ice cream, she said. She told the police she had no idea authorities had been looking for the girls and didn't know what was going on. An officer and DCFS worker then spoke with the two girls on the employee's front porch, and the DCFS worker initially told them that they would take in to stay with their sister, Shari. But the girls told authorities they did not want to go with Shari and instead preferred to stay with the employee. Oh my gosh. Talk about... And now I think we're entering into the alienation phase of this whole thing, where Ruby was absolutely using alienation to keep her kids away from the other brothers and sisters. Their only options were to stay with Shari or stay with a foster family. The Connections employee prayed with the girls. They packed up their belongings, the record states. So this is where the girls now are staying with Shari. But they didn't want to go with Shari. When the officer and a DCFS worker tried to search one of the girls' backpacks, the girl became very defiant, telling authorities they need a warrant to do that. Whoa. This is true. The officer explained that a warrant wasn't needed for the precautionary search because she and her sister were being placed in state custody. Nothing of note was found in the bag, police wrote, and the two girls were overturned to DCFS. So they didn't go to Shari's? The Connections employee gave the girls some snack before they left. Kevin Franke reports Shari to authorities. On September 1, 2 days after Ruby and Jody's arrest, Kevin Franke alleged that Shari Franke had broken into the family Springville home. Let me be straight, though. It's her home, too, right? I mean, legally, she's not on the title or anything, but that was her childhood home. That's her home. So, the father is currently seeking custody of the 4 children placed in state custody. I hope not. His attorney, Randy Kester, has said Kester told the Tribune that Kevin Franke had moved out of the family Springville home last year, so he doesn't even live there. So why is he allowed to say she broke in? He doesn't live there either. He lives there as much, so he has as much right to the home as Shari did, apparently. Well, maybe he's on the title. After he and Ruby Frank separated, but Kevin Franke has since moved back in because the house is free all of a sudden. Thank God the witch is dead. Well, gone. Kevin Franke told police he believed the home had been burglarized because the front door was kicked in and several electronics were missing, which contained his electronic journals. According to police documents, he told an officer they suspected his eldest daughter was responsible, citing a statement that he alleged Shari Franke had made an unspecified court hearing that day. Police documents do not specify Shari's alleged statement, but an officer explained to Kevin Franke the door was breached. Police documents do not specify Shari's alleged statement, but an officer explained to Kevin Franke the door was breached when Springville police entered the home on August 30th while serving the DCFS warrant. So Shari didn't kick the door in, So Kevin's just like, yeah, your 20-year-old daughter kicked a door in? Okay. The officer told Kevin the police went to Shari to the home on August 31 to retrieve personal items for 2 of her siblings. Kevin stated that Shari is not allowed in the home and that he believes she entered unlawfully and he wants her charged with burglary. An officer wrote in police documents. The officer reiterated that Shari was only in the home to get necessary items for her siblings, which Kevin did not seem to think was relevant, according to police documents. Police then contacted Shari Franke and she returned the items, which included passports for Ruby Franke, Kevin Franke, and her 18-year-old brother, along with 3 tablets, 3 cell phones, 3 cameras, and a stack of written journals. This is about to get interesting. And why was he so upset that stuff was gone? We'll talk about it in a second. Shari Franke told the authorities that she didn't intend to deprive her father of the items, which is lawyer speak for that's what you have to say, and intent required for a charge of theft. So the lawyer's just like, hey, say you weren't intending to deprive, and she had to say those words. Like, who says that? I was not intending to deprive these of you, father. It's just lawyer speak. And an officer told Kevin Franke that police would not be recommending any charges to be filed against Shari, according to police documents. Kevin was displeased with this answer and advised that we would be hearing from his attorney. You'll be hearing from my weird attorney. Okay. Like who care? Police don't care. They don't pay for attorneys. The state does. An officer wrote in the documents, the officer noted Kevin later came to the police station to pick up the items, which we'll see in a second. Ruby Franke and Hildebrandt remain in custody without bail in Washington County. They each face 6 felony accounts of aggravated child abuse stemming from the Ivan's police call. Franke is known for previous parenting advice. Okay, blah, blah, blah. All right, so that's when they continue on. So let's look at the footage of him picking up the stuff.
There you go.
Boom. So if you note, there's laptops, there's tablets, there's everything. She picked up a lot of stuff.
Is it all there?
Is it all there?
Yes.
Yeah, explain to me again why this was not robbery.
Because it's a civil issue. You guys are family. She's been in the house before.
It's literally her house too.
You haven't been in the house in a year.
Look at his furrowed brow. You have more things to worry about, buddy. Like all your kids are all around. They're in state custody. Your wife's in prison. And this is what you're worried about, Kevin? This is what you're worried about? And I'll tell you why. Why I think he's worried about it. But what a dickhole.
Had interest in the items. She didn't take them with the intention to deprive you of them. So that's the theft code. We have to prove intent to deprive you of the items. And that wasn't her intent in having them. So the detective sergeant said that we're not going to charge her for anything.
Okay. I'll have to do some more research on that.
You go ahead and do some more research on that, Kevin. Go ahead. Dickweed.
You can do that. You're going to follow up with our detective yourself.
Yeah, he'll be here on Tuesday. His name's Sergeant McCoy. Okay.
Okay.
Take care.
They're all like, okay. They know this guy's an asshole and they don't want to be around him. They're like, yeah, bye, Dick. Your kids suffered because of you. And that's really important to watch because he's like, again, his concern is for the things that he put in his trunk. And the reason why he's concerned, and everybody should be concerned, this is a reason why a lot of family vloggers will not hire outside editors. Okay, some do, don't get me wrong, some will because they don't have a ton to hide, but most don't because they don't want a third party, hear me out, seeing how the sausage is actually made. Like Jess Femme easily could have afforded at any time to hire an editor to do all that hard work for her. I hired my son to do my editing and mine's not even hard. Okay? Imagine all these people out there can hire editors because it's not that expensive actually in the long run if you put content out to hire editors to do this. The reason they don't want to get here again, the reason they don't want to do it is because they don't want you actually seeing the footage that was made up to make that video because a lot of times cameras are running and things are said that they don't want you seeing. And there's been videos, I interviewed, what's her name, Jordan, what's her face, who had her kid crying on the camera. She was having that running and she's only going to take a partial bit of that, but accidentally uploaded a lot of that. There's another one called Nia, I think her name is, and she continues to upload things she doesn't want to by accident because you get careless and you upload things you shouldn't that's on camera. A lot of these family vloggers have stuff that is on SD cards all over the place, full of stuff they don't want you to see, okay? 8 Passengers, obviously, in spades, has that. Because what she showed us, which we're going to take a look today, is garbage in itself. So imagine what they didn't show us that was captured on camera. Because they're capturing a lot of content to make these 10-minute, 20-minute vlogs. Hours and hours of content. Right? Micah Stauffer fell the hardest because one of the things that was caught was that they put duct tape on his thumb so he wouldn't suck his thumb anymore, and they put a little baby hand attached to it as a joke. Okay, that's an accidental upload. They didn't want you to see that. They were trying, probably you didn't even realize they left it in. And it was just 2 or 3 frames in a video that got captured. Okay, so many people get caught uploading things that they were like, whoopsie. So what I'm telling you this is that on those laptops and those tablets and those cameras, there is content that now Shari has. There's probably hard drives copied. The digital journals are copied. Everything's been copied. Shari and now Shari's lawyers and hopefully prosecution now has that content. We might be able to see if this thing becomes public, if this court becomes public, this court case. Things we would never be able to see because they don't want you seeing it because they're selectively editing everything. You have to ask yourself, these family vloggers that are worth millions of dollars, and some of them are worth so much money it's bananas. The LeBrant family, they edit their own videos. Why? Why? Because even you can get someone to sign an NDA, it is what it is. but you can get someone to edit. But that person now knows who you really are behind the camera. And it is so detrimental to these families for their fans to actually find out who they are. Because hear this, whenever something gets revealed about who these people really are, everything falls apart for them. And it's really important for them to keep up appearances to who they want you to see who they are. Well, look at Kira and Oscar from OK Baby. That stuff was falling apart for years. And imagine the things they didn't show you. So again, that's why he's scared. That's why he's pissed. She took stuff to copy it so that she has proof. And she was already looking for proof. I remember on the Reddit thread, as a-hole-ish as they all are, not all of them, but a lot of them, especially the mods who are dinks. She reached out to them and they had a big thread about her getting support and help. I need you guys to help me find videos and connections, this and that and the other thing, and everybody helped. Shari's been collecting this stuff so that she could get it to the prosecution or whoever so she can keep her mother behind bars. And Kevin doesn't want that. The Mormon church doesn't want that. Isn't that crazy though? That the absolute wrongdoing was on Ruby's part. And all Shari's trying to do is gather the information and the evidence, which, by the way, she was part of because she's in those videos and was exploited basically her whole life for this. It's almost as much hers as it is his, by the way, because she's on that stuff. So he's trying to get her charged with burglary because, I mean, even if it did, she wouldn't get, I mean, even if she did get charged, nothing's going to happen. No judge in the right mind during this type of case would do anything. And you know what? This is a stain on Kevin to this whole thing. Why did you want your daughter, your flesh and blood, charged with burglary? What's your problem with her? What's going on? It just makes Kevin look 10 times worse. But in the end, and I'm telling you this, and I know it's conjecture, and can't be truth, but I am convinced now that Shari is in possession of things that are going to absolutely put her mother well behind bars for the rest of the majority of her life. That's what I'm saying. We are going to see things you will never imagine. You think it's getting crazy now? Just wait till she releases unreleased footage. Or the court does, or the judge sees it, or the jury sees it. That's what she was looking for, because Shari knows that there's unreleased footage on those SD cards that proves who her mother was behind the scenes. And Kevin too. So I can't believe, like, if my wife was accused of doing this to our children, I'm not standing by an abusive person that abused my children to the point where they were tied up and starved. Okay? I know that it was Jody probably likely doing it, but you knew. Why is he standing by her? And my answer, honestly believe, LDS, Latter-day Saints. That's why he's standing by her. I truly believe it. I know this isn't a conspiracy, like it doesn't go conspiracy, like, oh, the LDS need, no, the LDS needs to stand by her. They need her to walk away from this, and Jody too. I promise you that. And the LDS is worth hundreds of billions. They have lawyers on lawyers on lawyers. Okay? They need this to go their way. I promise you. They need it to go in favor of Ruby. And this guy worked at BYU and he was connected to all this stuff and he was bought and sold into the LDS faith. I don't know if he is anymore. Imagine standing by the woman who did this to your children. And then not only that, trying to arrest and have your oldest daughter, who was a victim, be put in jail for taking what was rightfully hers anyway. So that's what I think was going on with that whole thing. But anyway, quickly, let's get to this video. It's called Paid to Keep a Secret. Now, there's a whole bunch of these, and I'm going to continue to cover them because now that we know everything we know, it's really interesting to look. So let's have a peek, shall we?
$16? My mother gut tells me this, that we've got some lying and stealing going.
Lying and stealing. Your mother gut, eh? Well, your mother gut also basically tortured a couple of your children, so forgive us if we don't trust your motherly gut. Okay? More like your motherly guts with poop in them.
I'm not lying. It's not a lying day. It's a forgiving day. She actually gave me that money.
Okay. This is the money that Eve said that...
Listen to the music. It's like a thriller. Someone took some cash, which, again, rightfully belongs to them, by the way, because remember Ruby has said multiple times, and hopefully the videos on this channel, talks about how she's like, you know, my kids aren't entitled to any of this money. When they turn 18, they're gone out of the house. Imagine that.
Gave to her. Did you give her this?
Yeah.
You did? Why did you give her that? You can tell me.
No, they can't tell you. They're scared of you. This is crazy, knowing what we know now. That's crazy. That logo. Why are you playing Stranger's Thing music? Imagine sneaking up on your child while filming. So those kids aren't even going to be able to consent to this. And this, again, this is not consent. If you're sneaking up to vlog your children and they don't know about it, there's no consent, and there can never be consent for that. Just so like, and this happens all the time.
You can hear me. I know you can hear me. It sounds sad. Can you clean up my room? You're my best friend. I don't want to clean up by myself.
Passengers, good morning.
F off.
Witch hazel, the secret that my sister Julie taught me.
Witch hazel. For witches. It's hazel for witches, and you're a witch.
She says it helps lipstick stay on and from getting all clumpy and like cracky, you know, with your lips. I sent Eve to her room this morning and I said, you're not leaving the room until it gets clean. How many times have we done a video on this? Like,
yeah, how many times? And maybe you should stop doing videos on it.
It's like half the channel's content, I feel like some days.
Nice. Half the channel's content is you just scolding your children and doing things. Cool. Cool beans.
The time that she has spent self-loathing is probably twice the amount of time it would have taken to actually clean up the room. Okay.
Shut up. You're a bad mother.
Do you want to know what my favorite lipstick is right now? And I've tried...
So stupid. So like, okay, half our content is me just scolding my children to go do things. Okay, you know my favorite lipstick? Yeah, okay. You guys think, and a lot of people like go to bat for Bonnie. This is exactly who Bonnie is too, by the way.
All of them? There are so many lipsticks in here. My favorite lipsticks are probably some of the cheapest ones. I think they work the best. The Maybelline 24 Hour, I got it in so many different colors. It is, I'm gonna finish it. He's got a list of chores around the house that he's gonna do. And me, I'm gonna go to lunch.
Huh, that's nice. All my kids have lists of chores they had to do, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna peace out for lunch. Bye, kids. Enjoy your chores. Ew. Ew. You're so selfish. I am so glad that this woman is in prison right now. I am so glad that she likely will spend at least 10 to 15, maybe 20 years in jail. She deserves everything that's coming her way right now. You guys want to see karma in action? Boom! We finally got it. Thank Joseph Smith. What a douche. Laughing about, I'm going to lunch. Enjoy cleaning the house, kids. Bye!
Evie, I want to talk to you. Can I talk to you for a second?
No. There it is. Again, another family vlogging thing. When a child does this, do you think that, like, especially when parents are like, oh, my kids give consent. Is that consent right there? Is that showing consent? It's not. That child is now taking away their consent to be on the camera. So, and I know that Ruby has said, my kids consent to this. But we have seen so many videos where the kids aren't consenting either through body language or literally saying no. Okay?
Don't film me.
Don't film me, she said.
All right, let's turn the camera off.
More dollars. And Poopsie surprise, they come with the toilet so it won't get everywhere. How many is this? How many is this?
You tell me why she gave this money to you.
I do not remember.
I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to listen very carefully.
Holy cow. I forgot how crazy and invasive she was. I just forgot. She's so invasive of her kids' privacy. Hey, let's have these real conversations supposed to have you with a parent, but I'm going to film it for the internet. And this isn't the only person that, she's the one going to jail for this. But so many people do this, by the way, everybody.
Very carefully. Close your mouth. I am not mad at you.
She doesn't believe you.
And you're not in trouble if you tell me the truth. But I suspect you took this money.
And here's all the motherly instincts. And now we know, because the beginning of the video showed us that the little other sister gave her the money. Now, Ruby already has her foregone conclusion locked into her head, right? This kid's living in distortion. She's about to lie to me. Ruby knows. Now, without finding out first, she just already knows this kid's guilty, which, by the way, is not true. So Ruby should have this conversation after she knows the truth, but she doesn't. Her first inclination is to be like, my children are lying to me, that's it. And now I know as parents, we're all kind of guilty of this type of stuff, and it happens, right? But this is the type of parent she is. Guilty first.
No, she gave it to me.
And this kid is 100% telling the truth right now. Okay? Even though she's blanked, 100% telling the truth. And Ruby's not believing.
I am going to ask her when she gets home.
No, I promise.
Okay, all right. You promise? I'm still going to ask her when she gets home.
Pinky promise.
If it's true, if she gave you that money and she gave you $10 the other day, she's a saint.
Okay, well, she's probably, no joke, she's probably paying this little kid to do her chores. It's like, smart. If my kid, Westy, came down and he had some money, where'd you get that? And he's like, oh, Everly paid me to do that. I'd be like, well, good for Everly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay.
But if she didn't, then it means you're being selfish and you stole money and you're lying about it.
Why don't you wait? Why don't you wait to find out before you say that to a child, to their face, on camera, by the way? Why don't you just wait? So don't be like, well, if you are lying, then you're a damn liar and you're going to be floating in the outer darkness as a TK smoothie. Just chill. You wait to find out before you say that to a kid.
That's like 3 bad things right there.
I promise I didn't do it.
Julie paid Eve $10 the other day to bug off.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Eve was being noisy in the room and Julie was really cranky and Eve wouldn't leave her alone. So Julie was like, I'll give you $10 if...
So she's doing all this too, being a total trash bag, while like one of her other children is straight up vacuuming the house. Now, am I against kids having chores? No, of course not. But the house? Maybe your room you vacuum? Cool. I'm cool with you taking care of your space. I'm responsible for my house. My children live here and they are absolutely available for everything in here, but it is my responsibility for the home that I own. The children have their responsibility, especially their rooms. But it sounds like this kid's straight up vacuuming the entire house. These people, don't forget, at the height of 8 Passengers, were making millions of dollars on the internet. They could hire cleaning professionals to come do it. But no, Ruby forced her children to do it while she's like, I'm going out for lunch with my new lipstick on.
you leave. So Eve took the money and left her alone.
Hey, got paid to do it.
Eve took the money to the toy store and bought a toy. And now the next day she just happens to have $16.
And this.
And more.
There's $16 here.
This kid's not lying to you, Ruby. You're a terrible person. The kid is not exhibiting any behaviors of lying, of like being shifty, nothing. She's like, and I have more here. The kid is telling you the truth and you refuse to listen to it, partially because you wanted her to be wrong on camera. It's crazy that we saw this the whole time. And we tend to see this on all the family vlogger channels, including Bonnie Holine. Everybody who wants to stand up for her. We see this behavior all the time on everybody's channels.
My mother gut tells me that we've got some lying and stealing going on.
See, there you go. Before she knows the truth, my mother gut, which clearly is just garbage, is in front of your daughter while the camera's on, talking to your audience like she's not there. It's really weird. My mother gut says you're lying and stealing. That's what she's telling her daughter. Even though we know, and the daughter knows, I'm not lying. What kind of message are you sending to your child when you're like, no, you're lying, I don't care?
But I'm going to confirm
No, it's not stealing.
Enjoy jail.
It's giving.
Keep in mind, Shari and Chad went through this exact same thing.
What? Getting money?
Stealing and lying.
It's distortion. Hey, you know what you did? You lied and you abused your children. Now you're in jail for it. Enjoy.
I don't remember Abby going through it.
Every kid goes through it.
I think if there ever was an angel child on this earth, it would be Abby, which actually makes me a little worried for when she's a teenager and starts dating, because she needs to stand up and be able to say no and not worry about hurting someone else's feelings. So,
okay.
Abby, I've got my own worries with her. She's got her own things that she's going to need to work on that are just... Wow.
Imagine sitting on camera being like, my daughters, they're okay, but there's probably some things they gotta work on. Like, they're not that good. So there's things. They can't just have a good child, right? I have a good child, but, maybe in the future she's going to be bad. She only ever thinks her children are bad And then when she enters into a cult-like situation with Jody and that toxic behavior and the toxic lessons that Jody's teaching, that's like a recipe for darkness and disaster right there. And that's exactly what happened. Ruby doesn't even know how good she has it with her children. And it never mattered to her how good or bad they were or what they did. It would only matter to her about how she could treat them badly.
So this is her bracelet making company. Julie's bracelet office, don't come in, warning. And then this is her little workshop. She's got her desk right here, and then she's got a homemade garbage can she's made out of paper.
That kid is brilliant. I would too, man. If I had a family channel with millions of subscribers, imagine how much if Ruby actually did buy one of my daughter's bracelets, that kid probably could have made thousands of dollars.
Keeps it neat.
Kid you not. The parasocial relationships developed with these children online, a lot of adults would have bought these off a child. A lot of creepy people.
Tidy.
And guess who does that? Fathering autism. With his daughter who will never be able to give you informed consent. She draws pictures, makes puzzle pieces, does Christmas ornaments, sells them to his fans.
And then over here is her...
It's like, those are cool bracelets too.
Shop. So right here she's got like size 1.
Those are way underpriced for how good they look. 75 cents. It probably took you hours. That's at least $5.
Size 2. She's got different sizes and different prices depending on the sizes. It looks like $1 for the bigger
Same size.
ones and 75 cents for the smaller ones. We'll get to the bottom of it when she gets home. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's not all you were just saying. Because if that's all you're saying, you wouldn't have accused your daughter while sitting there with her talking to the camera that your mommy gut thinks that she's a thief. So that's all you're saying, eh? Okay. All I'm saying is enjoy prison food. I hope it's delicious.
Give me back her money.
No.
Yep, give her back her money until you can prove her wrong. That is her money.
I'll be back to you once I confirm with Julie.
There it is. You are guilty until I prove that you're innocent. That's nice. Way to teach your kids good things.
She actually gave it to you. And then I'm going to tell Julie she has to take it back. Because there's...
So even if you are telling the truth, it's not yours anymore, even though you earned it. The audacity. The absolute effing audacity of this woman.
No.
And puts it on camera for us to watch.
Good reason on earth she should give you $16 the day after she already gave you $10. Get this room finished picking up. You got a good start. You got a lot of things off the ground, but you've got more. Finish up. I'm gonna come back.
That kid hates you right now. And you know what? You're owed the hate, by the way.
And check on it, all right? All right.
You're a dink.
This is disgusting.
Ew, Fig Newtons, yeah, it's disgusting.
And I thought I had a clean house.
It wasn't me.
Those are children sneaking snacks in your home because you withhold food as punishment, just so you're aware. Let me be real. And sometimes I get parenting advice. It's unsolicited. You don't have to take it, but please take this, okay? Someone who was food deprived as a young person. Don't deprive your children of food ever, okay? Let the pantry be open. Not like a Doherty dozen pantry, do you know what I'm saying? But let the healthy snacks flow freely at any time. Okay, when your child comes to you, this is the way it should be. Your child shouldn't be coming to you to ask for snacks unless it's like, you know what kind of snacks I'm talking about, right? You want marshmallows, or you want like chips or something. Okay, ask. But you know what? There's tons of bananas, there's tons of apples, there's tons of healthy snacks. You do not have to ask for those types of things. You need something to eat, go grab it. My house is like that because I grew up the other way. I grew up in a very strict. When my mom was married, like, can I have something? No, it was always no. So I would hide food. I would do exactly that, right? If you make a child, suffer and be abused with food, they are going to find ways to get it. And then when my mom got divorced and none of it mattered and she kind of left me to my own, I gained so much weight because I was now able to do whatever I wanted. And I was unable to control myself. There are so many negative things to making your kid food insecure. It's crazy. So hear me out. Please never deprive your child of food, especially as like a punishment. Please don't ever do that. Please. I beg you.
Wasn't it?
I hate Fig Newtons.
Yeah, Fig Newtons are gross.
Gross.
Why are you filming it? You're so gross, Ruby.
Glad you're here cleaning, Chad.
I'm not.
So it is Chad cleaning. Why aren't you cleaning? What's with this crappy music?
Lunch. I am making one of the Leroy's favorite breakfasts. So Kesley likes this, Chad. So you gotta give it a try.
Chad hates you.
I even wrote it down. They like the scrambled eggs with hot dogs or ham and refried beans. They said it has to be this brand. I didn't find that one, so I got one.
So you're not making it. Cool. Sounds like a Lusher recipe.
That had I don't like the one I got, but and then salsa and corn tortilla. So we will see how this goes, but it sounds really yummy with a lot of protein in it, so it should keep us full till dinner. Except,
And what if you're not full till dinner? What then? Can the kids have a snack, please? Hey, please?
I'm still going out to lunch, actually with Shanna this afternoon.
That's nice. Your kids can't have snacks, but I'm going out for lunch. Don't touch the food.
I'm leaving Chad home to babysit
Where is your husband?
because I am getting out of the house.
Can your kids get out? Like, why are you sitting there smirking about it? She's such, oh my gosh. Now that we know, right? Now that we know, watching this has so much more meaning.
Because I'm being kind to myself today.
Are you? Are you? Are you owed kindness to yourself or something?
And I'm being patient with myself. Did you
You're
get
an asshole.
your bedroom done? Really? Your bed? Everything? I'm gonna go check it.
Why don't you just believe her? Because you're going to go up there and you're like, yeah, I'm playing.
I'm gonna go check it.
Gonna be like, I'm gonna stop.
Did she do a good job?
Yeah.
Yes!
Why are you so surprised? If your first inclination with your child is to not believe them, you're a bad, shitty parent, okay? I'm trying not to swear, and I don't know if you noticed that on my channel, but I really am trying not to swear a lot more. But there's no other way to put this except for Ruby is a shitty parent. Gross.
No, those are your sisters.
Look, there's so many.
It's pretty good. They've got their little things going here. Julie's gonna have to clear this. Nothing.
It's a pair of socks. Move on there, Warden.
Okay, so she hit the key for me.
Get out of there.
Wow, that looks garbagey.
All right, let's see how you.
Wait, it doesn't go in it?
So you take your tortilla
Thanks for touching my food, Mom.
and you can kind of grab this,
Yeah.
dip it, and eat it.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Okay,
She treats Chad very differently than the other children, by the way. It's really weird.
how does it taste?
It's really good.
You like that? I had it yesterday and I loved it.
It's a lot easier.
All right, Kesley, how do you?
Weird.
No! No! Put it away! It's like a vacuum. This is not a shop vac. Chad, this is a very, very nice, expensive.
I know, and once it's and then
The answer is no. Sweep it up. Scoop it up.
Get a shop vac. They're cheap at Costco.
It's so much easier just to vacuum. Where's the other like really?
The shop vac, you're welcome to. The shop vac is outside in the shed in the backyard.
Probably very between like.
It might be really hard to get to, but please do not use this. Here, put this away.
Put it away.
It's so easy.
He already did use it too.
No,
Like,
I know it is. That's why we have a shop vac. You're not using this vacuum.
Now I'm going for lunch. Bye.
Did you bring food?
No, I'm sorry.
No, that would require me to care about you. So sorry.
You never bring food.
Yeah, you never, because you why would she bring you food? She doesn't want you guys to eat.
Can I ask you a question?
And look how she phrased it. And she's like taking her time. She wants her children to be scared of the question first. Right? She's going, can I ask you a question? Yeah. And her kids are just scared of her.
Did you give Eve $16 yesterday?
$16?
Okay, so you gave her $10 a couple of days ago to leave you alone, right? To bug off?
Yeah.
That's okay. You don't have to be embarrassed by that. You got what you wanted, so it was money well spent.
And then the music.
This is the money that Eve said that you gave to her. Did you give her this?
Yeah.
See, she's even scared to give the aunt the truth. That's the fear that she's raising in her children. This kid is scared to say that she gave the other kid money. Yeah. Like, they are scared to tell her the truth. But they're all scared to lie because they want to eat for the next week.
You did?
Oh, I don't care.
Why did you give her that?
Because she's generous. Maybe she loves her sister. Shut up.
No, I'm not mad at you. I'm just...
Yeah, you are. And she can sense that you're mad at her. Because you are.
I'm just trying to figure out who's stealing and who's being way
Nobody stole.
too generous. Like, why did you give her all that
I don't want you to be generous. Great lesson for your children.
money?
Wow, Ruby.
To leave you-
I'm glad you're in jail.
Alone?
You guys, are you seeing this? I know you are. You're seeing it with me. Kid is absolutely scared. I mean, it's blurred, but the kid is absolutely scared to tell her mother the truth. And the other one in the back is like, I'm not saying a word. Shari has run her, or Ruby has run her home like a prison for it's called, I used to call it 8 prisoners. Okay. It's like 6 prisoners, 6 kids. But these kids live, they have to walk on eggshells. They live like this. This has been their entire life. And nobody saw the red flags. Nobody? Well, I did. I called it a long time ago. Lots of people did call it out, but for the majority of their fans, nobody saw this coming. Now remember, she's very strict, and Bonnie's like, I'm not like my sister. Bonnie's exactly like this.
Tell me.
You can tell the truth, the camera's on.
Was it to leave you alone?
She doesn't want to tell you, but the truth has been laid out. The kid didn't steal it, so shut your mouth. Maybe she doesn't want to tell you.
Why did you give it to her? And why did you just say no? You said you didn't give it to her. You're embarrassed that you gave it to her?
This kid is trying to formulate an answer that's going to be satisfactory to the mother, who is a warden. She knows she's in trouble no matter what she says. And that has been their entire existence. This is the saddest video I've ever seen. And see there? Notice there was no more conversation after that, but what was on camera, what was on that SD card was still there, I bet you. And now Shari has that type of stuff. That's why they don't hire outside editors. They don't want outside editors to actually know, because in the end, when those editors leave and whistle blow, damn, and they are protected with whistleblower status because it is an industry. I hope that kid's like, see, Mom? I didn't lie. You owe me an apology.
Chad! You're so cute!
Why didn't you film your lunch that you went out with your friends? Look at that.
Smash him down.
No, there's snickerdoodle.
Julie told me that she did give you that map.
Abby! Look at this.
He's like, yeah, I know. Give it back.
I've got to find out, though, why she gave it to you. She wouldn't answer me. Julie.
Stop asking. She doesn't want to tell you. Who cares why she gave it to her? I'm generous. I like my sister.
Were you just trying to be a good sister? Mm-hmm. You seem embarrassed by me bringing this up.
Stop breathing your cookies in my mouth. Look, I wish you guys could see as clear as I can see this, because it is blurred. She's scared of her mother.
She's not wearing pants.
So better film her then, and then tell the audience.
No one can see it. See?
You're such a loser. I hope this one comes up in court. You went into your daughter's room while she was changing with a camera to ask her why she gave her sister money, and you didn't let her just finish getting dressed, and you're like, she's not wearing pants, and I have a camera in my hands. Are you out of your mind?